leaving Bongaree. Bit of southeast there, so a little bit uncomfortable in the anchorage last night with the southeast blowing, but not too bad. But anyway, we're up early and we're making for Double Island Point about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Well, we don't wear skimpy bikinis. Hell, it frightens me when I take my shirt off. There's definitely no one pregnant here. This is motor sailing for old dudes. We do live on a boat and we do cruise extensively along the Australian coast. Join us and visit some great destinations. Learn how to look after a boat and live off grid. It might even get you enthused to do the same thing. Hey, stay out there till you can't. It's about 4 o'clock in the morning and we're just passing Mooloolaba. Great trip so far. We've been averaging over 6 knots for most of the trip. The sail's still pretty full and yeah, the sea conditions are very good as well, so we're just going to keep on rocking up to Double Island Point. We've got about another 6 hours to go, so we're roughly halfway through the trip. But yeah, it's been cool, but yeah, quite pleasant travelling this way. Eddie. Been a great trip so far, and these dolphins have been following us for, I don't know, miles and miles and miles. They've been with us for the last hour and a half. All sorts of aerobatics out the front of the boat. This is the last drive, so Double Island Point here, we've got around that. And I'm just going to alter course and head down that way, and we'll put this sail on the other side of the boat. So first thing I've got to do is wind it up. Okay, now we'll just alter course and head for Double Island Point. We're going to be there in 54 minutes. I think I'll leave that sail folded up. We'll only save 4 or 5 minutes, and a bit of a chore getting it out, putting it back in, so I think I'll leave it furled and we'll just run down around Double Island Point into the lagoon. That's it. There you go. As we come around the corner of Double Island Point here, I'm just going to go over and have a look at the lagoon. It is closing out apparently. It's getting smaller and smaller, the entrance, so it's probably not going to be there in a year or so's time, but I think we can still get in. So I'm going to go down and have a look, and there's one of the dudes is in there, and he said he can give me a hand if I need some direction, but I'd sort of know where the entrance is. I just got to go down and have a look for it. So we'll go and have a look at it and see if we can get into the lagoon. Well, it looks like there's a few boats in there through the binoculars, so we should be able to get in and have a comfortable night. Well, we've had a good look at the lagoon, but we've decided we're not going to go in because we want to do the bar tomorrow, and I don't want to be coming out across shallow water to get out of there to get in across the bar. So we're just going to go straight up in front of us here and anchor off the beach in 2 or 3 metres of water. That'll get us out of the wind, that'll get Teddy ashore, and we should be pretty happy without going into the lagoon. The entrance to the lagoon has moved a long way since the last time I was here. It's got a lot closer to the sand dunes here, so I think the lagoon is probably just about on its last legs. I don't know how deep it is. Yeah. It's deeper here, yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. A lot of logs and that around though. Yeah. Go. When you lose your ball tip. Sunrise start this morning. We had a really pleasant night at Double Island Point. We didn't go into the lagoon because it was a little bit hard getting in and out, so we just anchored off Rainbow Beach. It was fine last night.
This is Lassie. Do you copy?
So it was very pleasant last night, and this morning we're just heading across to the Wide Bay Bar. I was going to go and do the Fisherman's Gutter, and I probably could have done it this morning, but I'll go and do the bar the long way in, and I'll film a bit of it. So that's the plan for this morning. Good day for crossing the bar. There's not much wind on and no swell whatsoever, really, probably half a metre, so be a good one I think today. We'll see how we go. Well, here's something new now that I've got AIS. You can see these AIS targets leading you across the Wide Bay Bar. They're set up as port and starboard lateral marks, so if you click on each one it'll tell you what it is. That's a starboard lateral, that's a port lateral, so follow them in as if you'd follow buoys. So they're virtual buoys taking you across the bar, and this is updated quite regularly. So we'll follow those in and see how we go. Yeah, you should have that on too. Okay, we're just coming through the virtual port and starboard AIS marks now, and we're heading for waypoint number 1. There's nothing to see here because there's nothing marked, there's no leads. You can only do it on the waypoints and on your chart plotter. So the AIS marks are flashing. You can follow them in. The first waypoint is a port lateral, so you've got to leave that on your port side, and then you turn around and head for a starboard lateral. So we're just heading towards that port lateral at the moment. I was going to fly the drone in, but the winds just got up and I'd have trouble retrieving it, I think, so I'm going to leave that alone. A bit too busy crossing bars, doing it this way. And Wide Bay is such a long bar, you're on it for quite some time. So we're just coming up to waypoint number 1 now. You can't see anything because it's all virtual, but we're in good shape on the chart plotter. Okay, so we just passed waypoint number 1, and I'm just going to alter course. Bring us around onto waypoint number 2, another virtual waypoint. When you're doing this though, just look at it. I can see broken water out to our left and up in front. The waypoint where I'm heading, it looks quite calm, so that's obviously where the waypoint is, but look at these breaking waves. If you're heading into that broken water, head towards the calmer stuff. Pretty obvious, I suppose. Pretty good day for crossing the bar here at Wide Bay. And I've been across this bar probably 10 or 15 times, and I tell you what, it's a lot easier to cross than some of the bars on the New South Wales coast, that's for sure. It's a long bar and it can be quite uncomfortable getting across it, but yeah, it's not as bad as some of those ones down the New South Wales coast, for certain. We're about halfway to waypoint number 2. Okay, so now we're just going to alter course slightly and head to another green marker. So I've just altered course now and I'm heading to waypoint number 3. We're on a set of leads now at Inskip Point. You can only just see them in the distance, but it puts you on the leads into Inskip, so that's the only navigation assistance you have here is the Inskip lead. Okay, so we're just leaving that starboard virtual mark to our right hand side now. We're just passing it, and now we're going to alter course and head up under Inskip Point, in between Inskip and Fraser Island. Probably be able to see the ferries working across the entrance here, and be a bit aware of them as you come into the Sandy Strait. There's 1 or 2 ferries usually working, taking cars from Inskip Point to Fraser Island, so just be careful of them as you head into this area of water. So that was crossing the Wide Bay Bar in pretty well ideal conditions. It can be a lot gnarlier than that. I've been on it when it's been a fair bit worse, but look, it's not a bar you should be really scared of. If you do it in good conditions, it's quite easy. Once across the bar, we head south down the Sandy Strait to Tin Can Bay. This is where most of the cruising boats hang if you want to get into Tin Can Bay. The only problem with it is it's quite a long dinghy ride from the anchorage into the marina where you can tie your dinghy up. So we're lucky we've snagged a berth in the marina. We'll be pretty comfortable for a few nights and get a few jobs done. we take a look around Tin Can Marina. And borrow the hire car and then get lost in the fog at Cowrie Inlet. The sun comes out while we're at Woody. Then my daughter flies in to spend some time with us, and we get the boat up to Bundy where we get lost in the fog again. See you next week, dudes.